What's up, Agents? Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 video. This is going to be a very special one. I want to play some gameplay and just give you guys an overview of what's happening. I am demonstrating how tanky the setup is and also showing you how much damage I can do. You can melt through enemies and basically withstand explosions on legendary difficulty. And enemies shooting you, multiple enemies. You can actually toy with the NPCs. It's absolutely hilarious. I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay, and then we will go through the description shortly. So let's go through the build. I know the gameplay was very long. I wanted you guys to enjoy it. The setup is ridiculous. It's so much fun, quite easy to make as well. So what you want to do is go and farm some pieces of Foundry Bulwark. Now you can go and do this from anywhere you want, any targeted loot area. You could even go do the power plant. That's probably the best way to do it. Go and run that. You should be able to get a bunch of pieces in one run, really. It's pretty easy. Or you can go and craft them. Go and check if you've got it. So Bulwark is very important for this build. That's how I'm getting so much tankiness, basically. How this works is I've got a 3-piece because I'm going to make use of Ninja Bike. And with this setup, I recommend it. Normally with solo builds, I don't really recommend Ninja Bike too much. But with this, it's quite necessary, and you'll see why with these 2 pieces more specifically. Bulwark is so good because you can take a lot of damage and you can heal a lot. Your shield can take a lot of damage and your shield can heal a lot as well. So let's take a look. So we get nice armor for the 2-piece, armor regen, shield health, which is important. Now, I want you guys to know something. I don't know why, but when you look at pieces that give you shield health, skill health scales better. You get way more shield health from skill health than just shield health. It's just the way it scales. So skill health for the brand set bonuses is very important, because I know there are some, like the named RNK holster that gives you a certain amount of shield health. I always see those comments. It doesn't work out to be better than skill health. So just remember that. Skill health is always going to be better than shield health unless you have a ridiculous amount of shield health. So this is going to be great because whenever you or your shield takes damage, 25% of that amount is repaired to both over 10 seconds. So the shield and the agent gets healed hugely. And also I've got an Artificer Hive that will heal my shield. If you put repair skills on your build, it increases the amount that the Artificer Hive heals the shield. This is run through the Technician specialization. And you also get an extra skill tier, which is nice. So I've got 6 tiers of my shield. So this is going to work perfectly. Then I've got crit chance pretty much on everything. I want to try and get my crit chance to at least 54% because I'm going to be using Obliterate. So perfect Obliterate. This is very nice, guys. Ninja Bike comes into play now. Rate of fire plus assault rifle damage plus increase in damage for the perfect Obliterate. Very, very nice piece. Crit chance and crit damage here. Every single mod on this build is going to be critical hit damage. Just check your crit chance because you don't want to have below 54%. Otherwise, you're not going to be making use of Obliterate. This gives us extra damage. And I felt like I needed a few more reds. This build is all about balancing damage and survivability. You can do over 500,000 damage a shot to an enemy, but also tank pretty much unlimited damage. Sometimes you may need to proc an armor kit. Running out of ammo isn't really a thing unless you're in a very difficult part of a legendary, like the Tidal Basin mission. That second part of that mission is very difficult without getting ammo, even 2 or 3 times with a full red build, a full red striker build. So don't be fooled. You don't need ammo all the time. You can always swap to a secondary and just beam them off or finish them off. So the 2-piece bonus is nice, rate of fire and assault rifle damage. Very nice, very good combination. We're making use of a lot here, so I recommend using the equalizer chest. Then the Lengmo mask, very nice. I've got crit damage and crit chance with a crit damage modification. Explosive resistance. This is one of the most important things here. As you can see, when I see an explosion coming my way, I actually put my shield away because it doesn't count towards your shield. Explosive resistance only counts towards the agent. That's from what I've seen from my gameplay over the years. So take the damage with your agent and then bring your shield back out. But the 20% is a huge, huge amount and it's worth it. And the skill health is massive. 20% skill health is really powerful. There's some other ways of getting skill health, so you can take this build in different ways. But the 2-piece bonus set is so strong that I recommend using a 1-piece of this set, Lengmo. Now you're probably wondering, why have I got some reds on this build? I've actually got 2 reds plus the Ninja Bike. It's because I want to make sure I have a tier 6 shield. So this is how I'm getting all those tiers. So the Technician specialization is important because of the Artificer Hive. I'll explain a bit more on that shortly. This is going to give me an extra skill tier. So I've got 1, and blues count towards a shield. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Simple. So that gives me the maximum amount of shield so that I can take damage. Tier 6 shield is very important. It increases a lot with it. And what you guys need to know is if you don't like shield builds, trust me, use this setup. It is so strong. And the funny thing is if you don't want to use a shield, you don't even have to. I would just recommend not using this this brand set, or you could even leave it as is and then just don't use a shield because you will be healed quite a bit. But I would preferably use a shield with this gear set. Otherwise, you're probably better off using different builds. I know some people don't like shields, but this is just too good. You want to be immortal and also do good damage. This setup works great, even in group play. This is a very good build, especially for new players. I would probably use this build on heroic difficulty with my hardcore agent. Maybe you could use a Reviver Hive. You might not even need this, but you can go for hardcore with the setup. It's very safe, but it's a very strong setup, guys. This is one of the best builds in the game for solo play. So the amount of blues is really up to you, but I would recommend what I've done here so we can still hit hard and also make use of the healing aspects of the gear sets, because if you have too few blues, you're going to have not enough skill tiers, and you're not going to make use of the regen percentage on the foundry. So you want to kind of balance it out. So I would actually recommend the amount of reds on the setup. So just put 2 reds on your build. That's going to be the sweet spot. So just go for that. But it is, at the end of the day, up to you. But if you're going to be using this build, I would recommend that. So the primary weapon, the Chameleon, is probably potentially even better than this. The Chameleon will work well. I hate the Chameleon. The Chameleon is got some of the worst accuracy in the game. It's a terrible gun. For me personally, I really don't like it because you can't laser enemies from far away. So then I would rather use an SMG. But the Chameleon in this build will work very well, especially if you can get close to enemies, because the Chameleon will allow you to stack more damage. You'll be able to actually do quite a significant amount of damage with the Chameleon. So you can absolutely use that. You can use any AR you want, Lexington, with any talent like Killer, Preservation for more armor on kill. Basically, you get your armor back, which is very nice. You can kind of go for anything. It really depends on you as a player. But I would stick to assault rifles as the primary because of the equalizer chest. Secondary, I've got the Black Market TA21 with Detox and Strained. Strained is very nice with this gun. Give it a try. This thing hits like a truck. Then obviously the quick step. Every time I make a build, I'm going to be using this. It's very good unless it's a pistol build. But for that, it's perfect. Ninja Bike allows me to only have a 3-piece of this and get a 4-piece. This, get a 2. This, get a 2. Like I said, there are some pieces like the holster that gives shield health. Don't go for that. Skill health is better, and also we get the explosive resistance. There's other ways, like there's gloves that give you some skill health that also have repair skills. I might actually mention that now just so you guys can have a look. So here are the Motherly Love. I think you get this from doing the specialization challenges and you can craft them. Motherly Love is really good because you can actually get repair skills 18%, which goes towards the Artificer Hive, which increases the amount of healing it does. I felt like it wasn't too necessary. I feel like my shield's getting healed enough. So I've gone for a different route, but these are going to be really strong on this build. Don't forget about these gloves because repair skills, and you're also going to be getting skill duration, which probably isn't going to be useful here. But that 25% skill health is very nice. But there are a lot of explosions in legendary missions and you will get grenaded a lot. So you can by all means use this because 5% skill health increase is actually very strong. And I wanted to mention this. So I would either use the Lengmo or these gloves. These gloves are really strong. I was actually torn between the two and there isn't a better option. It just depends on what mission you're doing and what kind of player you are, because this is going to be very handy. Extra healing towards the shield and also extra skill health, which makes the shield a little bit tankier. So these gloves are definitely ones that you should have a look at using if you wish to go that route. But that's pretty much it for the setup. And the way that it works is you just pull your shield out. Every now and again, if you see grenades, put your shield back away and then you can tank the damage. Just keep alternating. Use the Artificer Hive to heal. You don't have to do anything. It automatically does it. But watch that cooldown, because every time it needs to cool down, you maybe want to get behind cover and then pull your shield out to activate the stim healing, especially when you're when you're still away from the enemies being able to shoot you. So then you can heal your shield. You get used to it. You'll see how it works. It just takes a bit of experience. So crit chance, crit damage on everything. Crit chance rolled here on these pieces. And then every single mod is a critical hit damage modification. You can also go for protection from elites to mitigate elites damage. That's on you, but it just depends on you as a player. Shield, make sure to go for health and active regen. Then Artificer Hive, just use your best mods. I don't even have the right mods. It doesn't matter too much the way that it scales. So that's pretty much it for the build, guys. Let's take a look at the stats. 54%, 120 crit damage. It's quite good. The setup is a monster. I want you guys to give it a try if you haven't tried it. The regen, don't worry about this. This goes up a lot while you're playing. The hazard and all of that is because I've got the global modifiers on, but the active modifier disabled. Disable it because you get double the amount of passives here. So when no companion spawns, these bonuses are doubled when the player has no active companion. So no companion, we get all of this. Just make sure you recruit, go to the safe houses and recruit all of these guys. You get extra skill efficiency, which helps towards the shield and the hazard and weapon damage. So make sure you do that. And then you can put whatever passives you want. It doesn't matter too much. So that's it for the build, guys. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Peace out.